Hi, my name is Barnaby and I make and repair guitars in a small workshop in Tokyo. And I've always personally wanted an Olympic white maple-necked Fender Strat. I don't know why, maybe it's just all that Yngwie Malmsteen or something. I just think they're beautiful guitars, and I always have. And so I was on Yahoo Auctions, the Japan site, and one came up and it looked, you know, kind of exactly like the guitar I wanted. But it was in terrible condition. The frets were rusty, they had bits of broken rusty string stuck to them, the tuners were a weird green colour, all of the parts were covered in rust, the guitar was dirty, it was dented, it was a disaster. But to me, it just looked wonderful. And so I bid on it, I got it very cheaply, and it turned up and it had been bubble wrapped. Didn't have a case or anything, didn't have a tremolo arm, didn't have anything like that, didn't have a switch tip. They just wrapped some bubble wrap around and sent it with a courier. And I think that actually put a couple of new dents in it too. When I got it out, I thought, oh, this is going to be a job. But I gave the frets a bit of a shine. I took off all the old rusty string bits. I jiggled the switch around a bit so that I got a little bit of sound. I put on some new strings and I gave it a play. And it was surprisingly good. The electronics weren't working very well. The pots weren't turning freely. The switch wasn't working properly. But I could tell there was a nice guitar under it all. The bones were good. So I took it into my workshop. The first thing I did was pull all the old frets. They were too low, they were too dented, and I had a vintage size wire, stainless wire though. It's the same size as those frets. I needed to sand it down a little bit to get that feel that you do get on old fret and also on the reissue Strats. That try and capture that feel. But I did that. I put on the stainless fret so they won't need replacing forever. I made a new nut out of bone. I cleaned a lot of the corrosion off things, and I put a lot of the rusted parts, so like the tremolo saddles and things, into something called Evaporust, which will basically take the rust away. It won't remove the patina, so they'll still look old and a bit beaten up, but it will stop the rust progressing. I also did that with a lot of the screws. I ran contact cleaner through the switch and through the pots just to see if it would make a difference. I didn't want to replace them if I didn't have to. And indeed, once I'd done that, quite a lot of gunk came out and then the pots turned freely and the switch suddenly worked. I also got a nice tremolo arm for it, which fits this model of guitar. And then I lined the cavity with copper. I put copper on the underside of the pickguard and inside where the jack goes. I also put a slight shim on the neck. All of that stuff is reversible. So that means that if someone wanted to restore this guitar way back to the way it was when it left the factory originally, all they'd have to do is pull that copper off. So I discovered that this is a 57 reissue made in Japan Strat. This particular Strat was made in October of 1991, October the 31st, according to the neck. And it's a really, really nice guitar. I'm very, very impressed with the way that it sounds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a bit of a play. It's got a nice sound for kind of fingerstyle jazz too.